Hello, welcome to my channel. I am a budget mama based in the UK and my little family of three is working to a cash budget to help us keep control of our finances. If you followed me in my last couple of videos, you'll know that my husband and now my daughter both have COVID, and it's been a challenge, shall we say. I've been taking care of them and I've not had a lot of me time and I've been awfully frazzled for the last week. So it's fine. It's got to be done. That's not a problem. But they are feeling much better. My daughter no longer has a fever. She still has a heck of a cough though, which is keeping everybody up overnight. I'm not getting an awful lot of sleep. And I don't deal well with no sleep. I'm definitely not a morning person. I'm not a lack of sleep person. It makes me really, really grumpy and I have a short temper and then I snap and then she cries and it's a vicious cycle. Anyway, but on the plus side, she's broken her fever and she's doing a lot better and my husband's doing a lot better. They are testing regularly and he only has a very faint line on his test at the moment, so he is still positive, but he's definitely coming out of it now. My daughter still has a very strong positive, unfortunately, so it's going to be a few more days before she is clear and we're able to utilize, that sounds wrong, and we're able to send her to my parents for childcare, which would be just such a welcome break. I understand why they don't want her having COVID. My stepdad is high risk, so he would be high risk for COVID and kind of complications from it. So I understand, but it's been a long week. Anyway, so today's video I'm going to be stuffing our weekly spending money. These are our cash envelopes. This is what we spend over the next week. And we've got £170 going in. So there's 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. I always complain about not getting any fivers from the cash machine and it's given me loads of fives this time, which I don't remember which cash machine I went to. Maybe there's one of my local cash machines that just gives a load of fivers. So, first things first, we're going to get rid of everything. We're going to go through, see what we've got left and what we can put into savings this week. So there's never as much as I would like, but this one's on the way out. Massive hole in the side there. Sellotape to the rescue, I think. Yeah, there's never as much as I'd like to be left at the end of the week. And I know I have control over how much I spend. It doesn't always feel like that, but I do. But I think I'd always like to be saving more. So if you were here last Wednesday, I gave myself 40 in food as well as like a buffer and miscellaneous. It's all gone. It's been a bit of a bad week. But never mind, we are still within the budget. We just maybe haven't saved as much as we would like. We didn't spend any money on petrol for the car, but we did spend a lot of money on kind of convenient stuff and takeaways, and just when we were all a bit shattered and we didn't want to be moving from the sofa, you know. So a lot got spent. I would have liked to have saved the 70 quid from the petrol fund, but never mind. It's fine. I am confused about why there is so much left in self-care, because I only put 10 into self-care. I have no idea. It's possible that I spent something from somewhere else and put the change into self-care. I don't know. But there's money left, so yay for that. It's been another week where I've not done a good job of keeping track of stuff. And, you know, I'm letting myself off the hook because it's been a challenging week. So I'm not going to beat myself up for not keeping track of stuff. I broke into the clothing fund. I bought myself a top, from a charity shop that, well, it didn't fit, so not ideal. So we're down to 45. I always feel really guilty about returning stuff to charity shops as well. Do any of you find that? Like, I mean, it was only £4 for a top, and it was a really pretty top, but it was my size. I think it was actually a size bigger, but obviously the brand size small. But I always feel really guilty returning stuff to charity shops. Like, oh yes, I want that £4 back, please. Yeah, so it's probably just going to end up getting donated, and I'm going to take the £4 as a loss, because I'm not sure I could deal with the look, like the judgmental look of somebody like, really? Are you sure? But a lot of charity shops now, they no longer have the like the changing room. They don't have those anymore. A lot of them closed their changing rooms because of COVID, but they've not opened up again in most of my local charity shops, so that makes it a bit awkward to buy clothes. It's much easier for blokes, isn't it? Because blokes, it's a waist measurement and like a leg length, whereas women, we're all different shapes and sizes, and you know, I may be one size in one brand and 3 sizes bigger in another, just because, well, they want to make women feel bloody awful about themselves, eh? Anyway, so there it is. I got it. So a bit came out. We got, what have we got? So we've got a plate to change, and we've got 30 quid in notes. So that's excellent. Not as much as I would have liked, but better than a lot of weeks, to be fair. So we're going to pay in. So I think this week I'm going to give myself 30 quid. And that is the lowest amount that I would give myself in a week for food. But I think we're going to do well with it, even though we are kind of still recovering. Husband and child, they're still recovering from COVID. They're doing better, so I've got a bit more time to myself. I can like make stuff from scratch more easily than when they were both very sick. But also, because my husband's feeling better, I'm going to leave him watching the Childs tomorrow, and I'm going to take a trip to Rogers. Now, if you don't know what Rogers is, it's not sponsored, by the way. There's a shop in Manchester, and it specialises in food that is either close to or past its best before date, but it's still fine to eat. And we go there every month or 2. I think it's been almost 3 months since the last time we went. But I'm hoping that I'm going to get a good amount of stuff from Rogers. And that is, I know I really should budget for those shops, but all I'm going to do is pay that out of the bank account, and then we're going to save less towards our savings this month because of how much is coming out for the shopping trip to Rogers. It's normally around about the 50 quid mark, but we get a lot of store cupboard stuff. It all depends on what they have in, obviously, but we often get cereal and packet rice and crisps and drinks and kind of a lot of junky stuff, really. But it's a lot cheaper from there than it is from the supermarkets. So yeah, so 30 is going into food. In my next video I'll show you what I get from Rogers and how much I spent on each thing. So the downside is you spend a lot of money, but because you're buying in bulk it works out less per item. Anyway, I'll go into it more next time because I don't want to waste a lot of time in this video. Car, we are going to need to put petrol in the car this week, so we're putting the full 70 into the petrol funds. Fumbling all over the place with this one. There we go. 70's going in there. Seems to be around our area, it seems to be settled at about 165 a litre, which is not great, but it's better than it has been. But we're not back down to what we were pre-Russia and Ukraine and all of that stuff. So 10 is going into personal care. Clothing I'm going to top up to 50. So I'm just going to put 5 in to top that up to 50. And then miscellaneous is getting 10. Use all my 5s because I don't need. No, I'm not. I'm going to put the 5s into savings because I always need 5s in savings. So miscellaneous gets 10. I'm not going to add the extra 10 kind of as like a food buffer just because, like I say, we're going to get a lot of store cupboard stuff from the shop tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed. And then pets, we need 10 in there. So that leaves us with £35 that hasn't gone into our sinking funds. That can go into savings, and we've got some money left over from last week. So we're going to do that now. So that's all paid into. Let's have a look how much we can put into savings this week. Holy cow. So there is 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 78, £78.52 going into savings this week. That is insane. What? I feel like I've done something wrong, like I've not paid into something. Wow. Oh, I cannot get the smile off my face. That is amazing. I'm so proud. Yay. I'm so happy. Where the hell am I going to put all of that? Let's look at our challenges. So, if you can't tell, I have a massive smile on my face. So we are paying into 2 challenges at the moment. We're doing the penny challenge and we're doing the weekly challenge. So notes would normally go into the weekly challenge. That's 40, 50, 60, 65. Well, I'm definitely going to do 48. So we can do the 45, 1, 2, 3. So that's the 48, which leaves me 20. And what I might do is do 18. Do 17. So that means that the 5 that's come out of the change, I can just swap for a 5er. So I can do 17 and 48, and then I've got 5, 13. So I've got 13.52 that can go into my penny savings. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm saving so much this week. This is insane. So let's do the penny challenge first. So I'm going to pay into 352, 351, 346, and what did I say? 303, and that's going to be my 1352. So all of that is going into Toothless. I really need to keep my notes separate because if I put the notes into Toothless, they get stuck in his head and I can't get them out. It's an absolute nightmare. So I'm going to put the 5 into a separate jar just so that it doesn't get stuck. But Toothless is fed. He is a happy little dragon. And I've filled in that, so that is sorted. So now, what did I say? 48. And that's 1 and 17. Super! So that's 48 and 17. So that's going into my weekly envelope challenge. So 48. And 17. Holy, I can't get over how much has managed to go into savings this week. I know we've not been going out and what have you, but I felt like I'd overspent on everything. We'd done, like I say, we'd got a lot of convenience food, we'd done takeaways, I feel like I've done something wrong. I'm going to re-watch this and realise I've not paid into something, and then I'm going to have to come back and be like, oh no, I made a mistake. I hope not. I hope I've sorted everything and it's actually correct, because that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, so that's everything paid into. I'm feeling much better today. I'm much happier. I'm not as frazzled, and that has just made my day. So, penny challenge, weekly challenge, spending for the week, all sorted. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate absolutely every single one of you. You make my day when you comment. I mean, all the comments from my last video, most of them related to my orange wine, which I will share a recipe for if anybody is at all interested. But all of the comments saying that I'd put out a good video or I was doing a good job, I really needed to hear that last week. And yeah, they kept me going, because they kind of trickled in over the course of the week, and when I was having a low, if I'd go on and I'd see a positive comment, it just lifted me up a little bit. So thank you so much to anybody that took the time to comment on my last video. I really appreciate it. I've actually managed to find some me time today, so my next couple of wines are actually going in the airing cupboard today. I've added the yeast, so I've got blackberry wine and I've got rowan berry wine, which I have no idea if it's going to taste like cat's pee, but we'll give it a go. I'll catch up with you in my next video, guys. Take care and happy budgeting.